Hi and welcome to Reseller News. Today is September 17th, 2018. My name is Rich Pasini. Thank you for tuning in. I just want to start off by saying thank you to all the new subscribers who recently subscribed to me. It is greatly appreciated. I hope you keep coming back for more. Today's topic, I want to talk about online sales tax, which is going to be a big thing coming up in the upcoming months. And I just wanted to share this information with you guys out there, especially for all the online sellers, no matter what platform you're selling on, eBay, Etsy, Bonanza, whatever. It's something that's going to affect all of us. Some of us may hang in there. Some may bail ship, bail out. Who knows? I don't know. Myself, I don't know either. I do know one thing though. I could say this for sure, that whether I am selling on any of these platforms, I will still be doing a Reseller News. I will still bring you good, clean content, because that's what this channel is all about. And I'm deeply grateful and appreciative that all of those who have subscribed and have been with me for this time so far, it is greatly appreciated. Thank you for sticking in there with me and checking out the content I put out. I came across this here, as you know, for those who do follow me, I get a lot of alerts from Google. I get different sources of information, and with that I like to share this information with you, the online reseller, whether you're a buyer, because the buyers are sellers as well, and I thought maybe this would be of interest to you. So without further ado, I'm going to bump out of this screen here, and I'm going to go right to it. This is not the one I want right now. It is, however, one of them, but I want to go to the one how I actually got there. And I think it was, bear with me folks, I'm kind of probably bumping around a lot, so please bear with me. This is the one I want to talk about right now. As you can see, for those who want to do a follow-up on this here, for those who are new, the present subscribers know the routine. I don't read everything verbatim. I read, a good percentage of it, and the rest is up to you whether you want to finish up where I left off. I will give you the website as to where I picked up the information, and it's totally up to you if you want to finish up on it. This one here is from ecommercebytes.com, and it was put out Friday, September 14th, 2018. And the news, this was posted today, as you can see, right up here, September 17th, 2018. And the title is over here, eBay will collect sales tax in 3 states next year. It goes on to say here, eBay notified sellers it will begin collecting sales tax on transactions made to buyers located in the 3 states, Washington, Pennsylvania, and Oklahoma, but not until 2019. eBay lags behind Amazon and Etsy, which began collecting and remitting Washington sales tax for the third-party sellers on January 1st, 2018, and also began collecting transactions for Pennsylvania and Oklahoma this year. eBay didn't give a reason why it is not already collecting sales tax on the transaction in those states under their fair marketplace facilitator laws, but presumably it's because just unlike Amazon and Etsy, buyers don't pay eBay, they pay the seller. But that's changing as eBay rolls out and managed payments. It says eBay sellers can opt out, let me rephrase that. eBay sellers cannot opt out of selling items into Washington, Pennsylvania, and Oklahoma. There are no opt-outs for selling items in those states listed above, or out of eBay automatically collecting sales tax for those items shipped to the states above. It goes on here, and it says the implication was that sellers might wish to avoid dealing with buyers in those states, although many small sellers actually favor the marketplace handling sales tax on their behalf, especially those who sell exclusively on marketplaces. Here's the dates marketplaces began complying with the state marketplace facilitator laws. Washington, okay, Etsy, January 1st, 2018, Amazon, and so forth. eBay will be January 1st, 2019. Pennsylvania has already done it, right? 4/1/18. eBay again will be, oh, actually, I'm sorry, eBay will be doing it, January 1st, for Washington will be January 1st, 2019. Pennsylvania will be July 1st, 2019, and so will Oklahoma, will be July 1st, 2019. You know, I went through a lot of this stuff here. I didn't get a chance to read it verbatim, okay, folks? And the only reason why I say that is because it will take me too much time to, get into this and expand on each particular thing. If you look at the top of my page on my browser, you will see a lot of windows opened up. This is why I can't read them. Oh, I can't read everything verbatim, folks. We'll be here for hours on end, okay? If I have to read all of it, that is. When you go to these sites, though, I just want to share this with you. You always check out the comments that people leave behind. Now, these are people that are sellers and buyers just like you and I. I'm just going to read this first comment here. It's kind of a long comment, but I'll read just part of it over here, just the first part here. It says, I don't really understand why marketplaces are collecting sales tax for sellers on a voluntary basis. If they left it to the seller to collect, then the collection of sales tax would be completely unforeseeable and would land well within the judge's findings about small sellers as part of the overturned Quill verdict. But if mega marketplaces collect sales tax, then you set a precedent that enforces it as possible through the marketplaces rather than small seller, justifying sales tax charges in a big business portion of the verdict that led to the overturning of Quill. Look, I have no problem paying taxes, folks. My idea, and now people might say, well, why don't you go to Washington and talk to the people over there if you're so sure in this? Yeah, I don't have the time to travel down there, and first off, I doubt they're going to listen to one person anyway. So for me to go down there and talk among a bunch of lawmakers, I don't think it's going to really do anything for me. There have been other people voicing their opinions about this here. So not that I'm saying they are the voice for the e-commerce sellers, but for me, I'm just voicing my own personal opinion. This is my own personal opinion. I think personally, wherever you do business, I'm in the state of New York. I would therefore collect all the sales tax for New York, right, from New Yorkers that purchase from me, and submit the taxes to the Department of Taxation for the New York division, right? That's how I would do it. Everybody covers their own sales tax, jurisdictions. If you live in California and that's where your business is, you collect the sales tax from the California residents, and then you'll make restitution to them, to your tax department, whatever. But I think if everybody was to cover their own, states, like in other words, do everything on that part, I think it would work out better. Rather than somebody such as myself that lives in New York, I have to collect sales tax for these states here, Washington, Pennsylvania, and Oklahoma. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right at all. Like I said again, I have no problem paying taxes. But I mean, why do I got to pay for them? Why don't the people that live in those states that are selling in there, I think they should be paying, paying restitution or the taxes to those states. But we don't know how this is going to play out just yet. But anyway, without expanding too much on this one, let me bump out of here. Now, when you go to this one here, okay, you're going to look for this one here. Look at the highlights here. It says over here, recently tackled the sales tax issue this month, updating a newsletter that stumped sellers. Now, I already clicked it on. Okay, so it should be somewhere over here. Let me see. If not, let me just check this one out here. Let me just make sure. I might have had this up already. Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, Supreme Court. Okay, it's all the same. All right, e-commerce did it as well. But they also, eBay has it as well on eBay Main Street. Okay. Now, this came out, this was posted June 21st, 2018. Okay. This goes on to say, today the Supreme Court, now remember, this is June 21st, not today, September 17th. Today, Supreme Court issued its ruling in the internet sales tax of South Dakota versus Wayfair, ending a long-standing black and white physical presence sales tax collection standard. Ending with the Quill Nexus standard allows a state to impose sales tax burdens on a large retail businesses who do not have employees or facilities inside the state's borders. Basically, from what I understand it, this is the way I thought it was going to be, that at one point, if you did have your nexus where you're doing businesses, that's the way it would have been, where you would collect the sales tax for your state. But apparently over here, it looks like they got a different ruling on it. But let me, you could check this out and how you're going to get there. I'm not, like I said again, I'm not going to read this whole thing, okay? What you're going to do is that story I just went to, not this one here. What happened? I bumped out of it. Let me go back over here again. I'm sorry, folks. It's got a lot of windows over here, and I keep bumping around. Online sales tax. I'm trying to find the one I just did. Anyway, when you go there, you're going to see highlights. Just click those highlights on, and you'll read what I'm talking about. It'll hyperlink you to another one. Now, TaxJar. There's two. There's Avera and there's TaxJar. They have a 30-day. It says TaxJar created a free tool to help, but must sign up for a free 30-day trial. So it's free for 30 days, and then after that, they're going to hit you with a thing here. What happens when you click on this here? I think I have the window open up here. It's going to bring you, you're going to see TaxJar Sales and Transaction Checker. Okay. Now, when you move down here, you could start the trial by putting your email address or signing up for free. Of course, you could do that. But when you go here, let me just refresh this screen. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's see now. Don't tell me I messed everything up here. Isn't that the way it always works, folks? Okay, let's see if this is it again. All right. I believe it was this one. Let's see here. I'm sorry, folks, but you know, sometimes that happens. I have so many windows open up here, and what happens is you get thrown off. Let me go back into my emails really quick over here, and let me click on here. I have to do this one here to get it back to that screen. Okay. What you're going to do is, if this is the one I was thinking about, the full announcement, this help, eBay tax files, I think this is the one that's going to take you to TaxJar, I think. All right, well, this is the one. All right, let's go with this one for now. This one here is the tax and import charges, okay? Again, this is off of eBay's website. It says, when you sell on eBay, you're responsible for complying with the applicable tax laws. If you're selling to buyers outside the U.S., you should inform them that the potential import charges they will need to pay when they receive their item. Okay. Are you a buyer looking for information about tax? Then read the article about paying tax on your eBay purchases. Okay, this is something that eBay is going to put in there. They already put this notice out. It's in their eBay customer service link, I guess. Help selling fees. You're going to find it in there, or if not, just type in taxes and import charges for eBay, and you'll get this information here. It's got too many, it's got hyperlink things here, so I don't want to keep clicking them all on here, but you'll have one over here. This is an active hyperlink. If you're a buyer looking for, again, just like it says, information about tax, read the article about paying taxes on your eBay purchases, okay? They're going to have a whole bunch. Seller's tax responsibility, charging sales tax, eBay's tax collection, paying income tax on eBay sales. It's going to be, to me, folks, I'll tell you the truth, it's going to be a nightmare for me. That's for me. I'm only speaking on my own behalf, okay? So just get that through, you know, just want you to understand that. Here's the ones I was telling you about if you want to know a little more about it. Like I said, I can't expand too much on this here. You could follow up with these here later on after I do the resegment, you know, this news, reseller news. You could check into it for yourself. But it's a very important thing, folks. And it's something that we don't take lightly, because this is going to affect everybody who's going to stay on these platforms. Okay, and there's no getting away from it. All right. The only thing, unless if you sell on Craigslist, but still, you know, again, that would go under, if you're going to do on the thing on the up and up. If you do sell on Craigslist or one of those there, Facebook, whatever, you know, with the tax, with the IRS, what they say is if you're collecting any additional money that goes as an income, you're supposed to pay taxes on it. I know I don't make the rules up. I don't make the laws up. I'm just Sharing it out there. I'm throwing it out there. Anyway, when you click this on, okay, well, here's the one over here. It says paying sales tax on eBay sales. You know that, right? Okay. It says over here, if you're required to charge sales tax, you can set up a tax table and apply it to your listings. We'll then add the tax to the buyer's total checkout. You're responsible for paying the sales tax to the appropriate authority. Now, contact a tax professional to determine whether you need to charge sales tax on your eBay sales, or if you have questions about other taxes. Taxes on top of taxes. It gets more, to me, it sounds more confusing as I keep reading. We can't provide tax advice or guarantee that the tax features meet all the requirements. So this is what I'm trying to say, folks. This I think is going to hurt eBay more than help it. I think so anyway, because I think there's going to be a lot of people going to get disgusted with this here. And I know someone had did a video about this once before about taxes, and they made it sound like, oh, don't worry, they sugarcoated. Everything is going to be fine. It's going to work really good. Well, so far, if it's only for the 3 sales tax, those 3 states, that's one thing. But if you got to go and check out, like the first time I heard, collecting 45 states, and then you got all these different jurisdictions to pay, to send the money to, it's going to be a nightmare. Okay, there's no sugarcoating that. I'm sorry, folks. But anyway, if you click on tax jar, I think this is the one that'll take you there. Let me see. Okay, state by state economic nexus laws. The one I'm trying to find, I just had it before and I lost it. Let me see if I can find it again, folks. Bear with me for 1 second here. Sales tax, it wasn't this one here. Connecticut. See, then here's what they got over here. I guess you could even look at this one as well. I'm going to scroll down here. Okay. Let's see what they got over here. All right, we got the economic nexus by state. We got that. Okay, here, Alabama. Here's the threshold. $250,000 a year based on previous calendar year sales. Okay. Summary. According to state law, sellers who exceed $250,000. I should only be so lucky to exceed $250,000 in sales. I would be more than happy to pay the taxes if I could even get to that point, but that's not going to happen. All right. So as you can see, the amounts do change. Alabama, Arkansas. Okay. A threshold of $100,000 in gross revenue, 200 or more separate transactions on the previous calendar year sales. Colorado, 100,000, 200. Okay. Connecticut, 250,000 a year in gross and 200 or more separate transactions in the previous calendar. And it goes on and on. Okay, you could read about it. Let me just see. I'm in the state of New York. I'm sure it's here. I don't think it's going to be excluded. I'm just curious to see why I'm here, folks. I might as well check it, right? Let's see what we got here. New York, New Jersey. Come on. What? Wait, did I go that fast? North Dakota, North Carolina, New Jersey, Nebraska. Okay. That's surprising. I'm sure that it's going to be there. Believe me, folks. Don't think it's a get out of jail pass here. No, I don't think I skipped it. I don't think I skipped it, folks. But if it ain't there, it's probably they probably didn't update this when this was posted. When was this posted anyway? All right, July 9th, 2018. So I'm sure it's going to be refreshed. All right. So anyway, now if you want to read this story, or if you can't find it, it's this one here is the HTTPS snake eyes. I call them snake eyes. 2 dots / blog.taxjar.com. And you want to type in, you're looking for, well, it says over here, it's a long URL. You could look it up yourself. But the one you're looking for is sales tax by state economic nexus laws. You can check this out for yourself, folks. I'm not going to get too much into it because, like I said, again, it'll be too long. Okay. I think we went through this already, right? Let me see. Business Insiders. Okay. Lawmakers stick up for Amazon sales. This is the new stuff that came out. Well, I consider it new. This one came out September 15th. I'm going to be bouncing around a little, folks, here for now, so please bear with me. I'm sorry about that. This is here with Elizabeth Warren, I believe. No, maybe not. This wasn't it. It's lawmaker. I think it is, right? Amazon, bear with me. Yes. Lawmaker is sticking up for Amazon sellers. Okay. It says Senator Warren told the New York Times and that Amazon should be scrutinized for potential anti-competitive behavior. The problem, it says, as she sees it, is that Amazon amazes sales data for the third-party sellers and uses it to its own advantage as a retailer. For example, develop a private label brand according to the Business Insider's coverage of the interview. If you're getting a huge competitive advantage from being a platform provider because of this information, you'll keep scrapping off. Then we no longer have competition going on. All right. Again, you could read this story here, folks. I do definitely want to get back to the with the sales tax thing. So you could check this here, ecommercebytes.com. The story you're looking for is lawmaker sticks up for Amazon sellers. I'm going to bump out of that one. There's two windows like that. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. No, not this one here. This is another one. But let me go back over here for a second, folks. I'm sorry. I really do apologize for bouncing all over the place. Let me bump out of this because it looks like I got duplicate windows here, folks. I really do apologize. Let me make sure here. Okay, we already read this one here, so let's get out of this one. I'm going to get back to that in a second here. Let me see what this one's all about. Okay, this is something else. This is a news release for the Minnesota requiring remote sellers and marketplace providers facilitating sales in Minnesota and collecting sales tax later on October 1st, 2018. This is a news release from the Department of Revenue for Minnesota. This is live. You could read this here. I got this off of one of the sites over there. It might have been e-commerce bytes. You could read it if you would like, or you could just go to Revenue by State. MS. It's www.revenue.state.mn.us. Okay, or just type in news release for what do you call it there? The one that we just talked about, South Dakota versus Wayfair, and you could check it out that way. Let me bump off of here. I want to try to get to the ones there that, all right, I want to get rid of this one here, automate sales, online sellers. I think we already did this one. That's the one we were talking about. This one came out September 8th. Online sellers stumped over sales tax collection. We already talked about some of this here. Again, you could check it out for yourself. I'm not going to read all this here. You know where it is. It's on ecommercebytes.com. So let's bump out of that. We already talked about this one here. We're going to get out of this one here. And this one as well. Okay. And let me bump out of this one here. I think we already talked about this here. This one came out June 23rd, 2018. Supreme Court throws out long-standing sales tax rule book. If you do want to read this, it's old news. Yes, it is old news, but old news could be good news. But it was published on today, September 17, 2018. If you'd like to read it, ecommercebytes.com. Folks, you might want to read this stuff. All right. If it gets too confusing, then read a little parts of it at a time. But I mean, I'm trying to throw everything. I'm trying to throw everything like in a big pot over here. It's like trying to get everything all out to you guys as best I can here, and it seems like it gets a little confusing. I do apologize. Let me finish up with this one here. Okay, we talked about this one. I already told you about this one here, right? Yeah, we're going to bump out of this one here because I want to get the fresh stuff. This is the one I want to talk about right now. Now, this was posted today, but it was done September 14th, 2018. Now, we're talking about collecting the sales taxes. This is new stuff. Lawmakers float a bill to free sales tax chaos for small biz. Okay. These are tax issues, folks, so I'm trying to throw it out there the best I can. I am not a tax lawyer, so I don't know about this here. Anything that I'm sharing with you is not by me. That's why I read it verbatim. Well, not verbatim, but I read it from the websites and I pass it on to you guys. What you do with the information is totally up to you, okay? But I am not a financial consultant. I'm not a tax advisor. So if you have any questions, or anybody's going to message me or anything about stuff like this here, I would love to help you, but I'm not familiar with that area. Talk to your accountant or CPA when that time comes. You do your taxes, and they could better assist you with that. So if anybody has any questions for me in regards to this here, I cannot help you with that. I'm sorry, folks. I'm not experienced in that area, and I'm not going to put out information based on my own assumptions of what I think is right and what's, I can't do that. I'm sorry. But anyway, let's read this one here. It says Republican and Democratic lawmakers in Congress have introduced a bill that would be a huge relief to small businesses worried about online sales tax obligations in the wake of Supreme Court overturning Quill. Among the provisions, a $10 million exemption for small businesses sellers until states simplify the collection. In other words, they're not going to get rid of it. It's just like they said, they're going to freeze it. Okay, so don't think, oh, this sounds great, maybe they'll get rid of it. That's not going to happen. Okay, it would also protect sellers from states who might want to collect sales tax retroactively from any sale prior to June 21st, according to BNA of the 25 states that have enacted an economic nexus model. Only 2, South Dakota and Maine, prohibit a state from applying their laws retroactively. Okay, so the way I understand it, looking at this here, the 2 states that are going to prohibit the state from applying, for retroactively would be South Dakota and Maine. Okay, Congressman Jim Swestenbrenner of Wisconsin introduced the Online Sales Simplicity and Small Business Relief Act. eBay praised the bill in an announcement on Friday. The company said over 1 million Americans have signed a petition calling for Congress to pass the federal legislation. Now, I don't know if you guys did, but I did. All right, and I think if you didn't, you might want to check into it. Really, okay? But anyway, this goes on to say, but there are critics of the bill, including state legislators, not surprisingly. One said the bill should recognize streamlined sales and use tax agreement that has been adopted by more than 20 states, according to The Hill. You could read the lawmakers, again, see what I'm saying, all hyperlinks. You could read the lawmakers' press release here by clicking it on. In related news, eBay announced it will be collecting sales tax on transactions made to buyers located in the 3 states, thanks to the marketplace facilitators laws, as we reported on the e-commerce blog sites this morning. Okay, you're not going to get away from it. So let's deal with that right now. We're obligated to collect sales tax right now. It seems like only for those 3 states. But we don't know what's coming up in it. What'll be coming around soon. Who knows? If they make it more than 3, I think it's going to be a real nightmare. But it is what it is, folks. Let's see how it plays out. It says over here, and just to read one comment over here, I'm not going to read too much of them because it says with 2 thoughts on lawmakers float a bill to free sales tax chaos for the small biz. Someone wrote in here at the end says, yeah, okay. An amendment to the Constitution is the only way to change the rule. Otherwise, no tax shall be laid on the items sold between the states. We will not be a party to illegally tax collection, whatever. That's one. And then it goes on to say, here's another one that reads a little more. It says, indeed, of the amendment of the Constitution will end the problem once and for all, but I am sorry that the end is an important is an import/export thing. You used the correct term. Exported in the previous post. Sold between states is not accurate. I'm not going to read the rest of this here because, like I said, we'll be here too long with that. You can check this out. You know the site, folks. Let's go over here. And I want to go back over here. Now, again, I want to stay on a tax issue. Then I'm going to get back to down detector. That's pretty interesting information there. It says over here, now this was posted on eBay. I'm just looking for a date. Okay, this was September 13, 2018. I like to ask you guys out there who do follow, who are sellers on eBay or whatever. Do you guys check out the eBay community at all? If you don't, you might want to start checking into it because apparently eBay is not going to send broadcast messages to you directly. It's going to be on their post. And I understand, you got over 26 million active sellers on there. And I think, what is a total 171 altogether, 171 million people, I guess, on the platform itself. I don't think they're going to send it out, although it wouldn't be a hard thing to do. But you might want to check out the eBay community every now and then. Okay. Now, if you look at it over here, they have home, seller news, knowledge-based discussions, and groups. Okay. But check it out. This one here is, again, the upcoming change of internet sales tax may be applied to your eBay business. As you may know, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the South Dakota in June 2018, which removed requirements that certain retailers have physical presence in the state in order for the state to impose sales tax obligations on these retailers. So far, as you can see here, it coincides with e-commerce bites and the other ones what we were talking about. It's only right now for Washington, Pennsylvania, and Oklahoma. So folks, if you have anybody in these states, that's the way I understand it right now. So just check it out, read up on it, get familiarized with this stuff, because this is what's happening, folks. That's all I could say. Check it out. Go to the eBay community and look out there and look this up. If you can't, just do a Google search. I'm sure you'll find it. I just want to see one other thing here. Is this the one I was thinking? No. There's one I want to talk about with Devin Wenig's on it. We already talked about this here, the June 21st. What's this one over here? Is this the one with Devin? Well, there was one where this is almost the same thing. This is an announcement there. There was one where Devin Wenig said that eBay is going to provide a tool that's going to help the sellers with this sales tax collecting thing. I don't know if it was with the e-commerce bites, but I know it was in one of those there. I probably bumped out of it, and I probably shouldn't have. I do apologize for that, folks. But this is something that we really need to take serious, because it is gonna affect us. And I don't know how it's going to be, but looking at this over here as I'm talking to you, I'm looking at this here right over here. Now this one was posted again September 13th. It says, what does it mean for eBay sellers, regardless of whether you're physically located? If you sell to buyers in certain states, those states may require you to collect applicable sales taxes on your transactions. Therefore, based on these new laws, we will collect and remit sales tax for orders shipped to customers for the following states of the following schedule. Okay, this is what I'm going to talk about. There was one where Devin Wenig actually stated something that he did. I don't know if it was a tweet or just a message he put out there, that eBay was going to do it. And I guess this is what they were referring to. Okay, according to this here, right, it says, therefore, I'm going to read it again. Therefore, based on these new laws, we will collect and remit sales tax for orders shipped to customers in the following states on the following schedule. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. Remember now, you got January 1st, 2019. This is going to start for Washington. July 1st, 2019 will be Pennsylvania, and July 1st 2019 will be for Oklahoma. Okay, then it goes on to say, once we start collecting tax in these states, you do not need to take any action. There is no extra charges or fees for this service. Prior to these dates, please continue to collect and remit tax in these states and comply with any other applicable requirements they impose. There are no opt-outs for selling an item in the states listed above, or out of eBay automatically collecting sales tax for items shipped to those states above. Additional states, here we go, additional states will likely be added to the above list. Stay informed on the help pages. For more information on new tax requirements, we recommend that you consult your tax advisor. If you do not have a tax advisor, we are partnered with Alavera and TaxJar. They will have specific insights and his best course of action for you. As always, thank you for selling on eBay. Okay, now this is, like I said again, you might say this particular reseller news is really focusing on this internet sales tax, and you could see why. In some cases, it's going to be a little complicated. In some cases, it depends, though. Okay, everybody handles things differently. Now, there may be people that might get, hear the news about this here from me or somebody else and say, I'm out of it. I'm done. I'm not going to be bothered with eBay. I can't be bothered collecting sales tax in different states. So far, it's only 3. Yes, there will be new ones added. Of course, we know that. Okay, once everyone wants to get in the gravy train, especially when it comes to revenue, right? Especially tax revenue. But it's look, I don't have no problem with it. That's part of our obligation. That's part of doing business. But if it gets to be too much, and if you're a person that's on a very strict budget and you can't afford a tax attorney, a tax advisor, or whatever, it's going to be a problem for people, because trying to figure things out is going to be a little problem. I mean, I get confused myself doing my own taxes, could you let alone doing taxes in other states and different jurisdictions. It's going to be a little crazy. All right, but please, I can't focus enough on this here. It's really something that we need to take serious and to look into. Okay, and the reason why I brought it up is because when I read that segment today, when I got that news alert from e-commerce bites about the taxes, I said to myself, I got to do a reseller news segment about this here, because it is important. All right, folks, it really is. It's important, and you got to abide by the laws. Period. So I thought it was my duty to put it out there. Give you guys a little heads up and a little insight as to what's going to happen. Prepare yourself for when that time comes. Hey, 2019, that's around the corner, folks. Okay, so we're not far off. All right, so it sounds like 2019 sounds like a whole year away, right? I know. If you look till you start looking at the calendar, he's like, oh my God, we're in September already. Before you know it, it'll be January 1st. So just keep that in mind. Hey, if you're a person that doesn't do a lot of, you don't make a lot of sales in those states, then you're okay, I guess, right? I would think. But anyway, I want to share something with Down Detector really quick. And I have one last story, and then I'm just going to end it with the about an Apple iWatch. But this one over here, for those who are newbies, you might want to check into downdetector.com. Okay, when you go there, let me back out of this here. Let me refresh this here. I'll go back. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, this is where you get an idea. When you go to downdetector.com, you're going to get a whole array of other sites to check out. Now, I like downdetector.com. To me, I think it's pretty viable, a reliable and a viable website, as far as giving you information on what sites are up, down, and all around, so to speak, what kind of outage you have. If you could look here, I'm just going to scroll through, but I definitely want to jump into eBay one. They have all different companies. Okay, you can see it right here. And what you would do is you would click on any particular one that you're interested in, and it'll share information as far as what's out, if there's any allergies, website, login issues. But I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but you can check it out yourself. When you sign on first, it's going to ask you to about an agreeable icon. It's going to come up a little prompt. Just click it on, I agree, whatever, and then you could read about, you could go along and check out the information that's posted there. Now I'm going to click on eBay. When you get to eBay, you're going to click this on, and it's going to take you to that site. You're going to get, it says over eBay, it says right now no problems at eBay. All right, eBay problems last 24 hours. That's what this is saying. Now I don't know as far as this gets updated. I don't know about that part, these little things. Here's the live outage map. Okay, now when you click it on, it highlights in like a brownish yellow. Let's see here. And it shows you different places. All right, this is like an orange, just like a yellowish brown. Anyway, this is the outages on these states, all right, where it's affecting. Now, this is the international, and then when you click it over here, it'll bring you to date. You can see where they're having outages. Okay, Boston and Washington. Now you might say outages. What outage? I don't know. Maybe they're expecting. They're having experiencing glitches within their system. I don't know. I mean, it's not like something. I'm on the East Coast here too, and I'm not experiencing any outages with eBay. But now people may tend to say, well, then how do we know if this is a viable site? It is viable. They do update it. It's updated frequently. Okay. Now the only thing I will say, if you're new and you do come to this channel here, this website I should say, when you look at the resolved issues, you're not going to see the new stuff posted. But as you can see, these percentages do change. Okay. If you have a problem with eBay, you got to sign up with them first. Okay, you got to sign up with them in order to actually post here. You'll see website, they have 60% problems with websites. Login is 26%, and checkout is 13%. Here you have to resolve issues. Now, I can't tell you verbatim what they are. You'd have to read it. You have to click it on and say, okay, August 6th. You say, that's old news. I know. I'm just saying. Apparently, nobody posted new stuff, or they did, or maybe the issues that are still going, they're still ongoing. I mean, that's why they didn't put they're resolved yet. You know what I'm saying? But if you click down here, This one I found interesting. This person here put over here, my dad is a well-known seller. He is looking into eBay's practices and bringing them up on charges. He has plenty of evidence and wants to move forward, and that's all I could say. Okay? Now, I don't know what this person's doing. All I know is it says over here somebody replied 2 hours ago. And this is new now, folks. This is new. This is 5 hours ago. This is this response was 2 hours ago. And the person says, I hope you're real. Hope for real. All right? Here's another one. Again, eBay message system is down. Impossible to respond to buyers and questions here from New York. Now, again, I'm in New York. I don't know. This was 5 hours ago. Now, I was on the system 5 hours ago. I was on it since 6:30 this morning. Okay, I haven't noticed anything, but there are other probably different areas that may be experiencing problems. Okay, I'm over here. I'm on the east. I'm in the East Coast again. Like I said, New York. I'm in Long Island. Okay, I'm like 45 minutes away from New York City. Okay, I'm close by. I mean, if I take a train, if I drive in, I could probably get there in 40 minutes, between 35 and 40 minutes. But anyway, let that aside. I'm not experiencing anything. Okay, as far as that part goes with the messaging system, whatever. I don't know. You know. If there's any glitches there, it's news to me. Then it goes over here. Wow, eBay is one screwed up place. Things ending at the auction now in poor condition at higher prices than the better one sitting in the lower price. Buy it now. I will never understand this. It seems like auctions are getting more activity, but then it goes over here. It says, but it's still not the way to go. As I watch many auctions from sellers who I know or making they make money. I wish I was making money. On 2 out of 10, they lose money out of 8 out of 10. What's the streaming pile Devin is, meaning Devin Wenig, has created. Have a great day, and so on and so forth. And the person, you can read all these here. I like to read what people have to say. Because these are things, the reason why I say that, the reason why I tell people to read the comments in here, because you're reading stuff that you probably never heard of. You know. Now, I didn't know about the messaging, about eBay message system. I didn't know about that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If people who sell on these platforms, you might want to check into Down Detector, okay? You might want to check into it, all right? And some of it you might say, yeah, it's a day old. Some of it's 5 hours old. 2 hours old. It doesn't matter, folks. You're hearing the firsthand from these people that are experiencing these problems, okay? And here's one over here. Searching with my own listings is not working today. Just a daily eBay glitch. /bug report. Okay. Recent comment from a former eBay employee. I quit last month. Too much stress, too much BS and politics, empire building garbage, etc. Dishonest people who think they can solve anything with the slogan and a handful of lies. The culture is toxic, and I was doing work for 2 people, then 3, then 4. Well, that's because they had layoffs. I call that redistribution of work. Why are you behind? We notice you like to give in to the sellers a lot. Yeah, if you help more than one or two sellers a month in disputes, you're going upstairs to the teamwork meeting. The buyer is always right. Tell them something so you can get rid of them, and then take your next call. Don't spend more than 120 seconds on any one call. Then it's got over here, stooges, kill your own business, and then so on and so forth. What else does this guy say? 2 years more. Okay, was this another person? 2 years or more enough for me. Moral of the story: don't work at a place where everyone around you is lying. Look, I'm not going to get into that there. If that person is genuine, that did work there, and they're voicing their concerns like that, and if that's the way it is, wow. That's pretty. That's something really. I don't know what else to say in that way. I don't want to expand on that topic, but it's crazy stuff going on with eBay. It really is. But last thing I just want to say, last note, then I'm just going to close out the video. How an Apple Watch could have saved my father's life. Okay. It says over here, that headline sounds dramatic, doesn't it? Honestly, it reads like one of those clickbait titles you see on Facebook or maybe YouTube. But this is a true story of how my father died and how the new Apple Watch might have saved his life. If you want to read this story, it's www.apple.com. howtogeek.com, and you could read about it. I think the reason why they're saying about the watch now, I think because it has things where it could do could check your heart rate and all that stuff there. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but you could read it if you want to get the chance. I'm going to leave it up because I would like to read the rest of the story. But in the meantime, I'm going to bump out of here, and I'm going to close out this video because, like I said, I don't want it to be too long, folks. I notice my videos sometimes go on and on and on. I love to share information with you guys, and I do love talking. not to talk to waste your time, my time, but I do like to explore different avenues and share things that may be of help to you. In regards, again, like I said again with eBay, with everything's going on with them over there, folks, if that is what they're saying is true about, tell them what they want to hear and just brush them off, that's pretty sad. I don't know what to say in that part. Like I said again, I've called up the eBay teammates, and I will rest assure you, spent more than 120 seconds on the phone with them. Okay, more like more like half hour, 40 minutes, whatever. I mean, because people say, what could you possibly talking to them about? Well, it's like with me, it's like one thing after another. Like, if I'm talking to a person about something, I like to expand on that topic. Maybe not 40 minutes, maybe 30 minutes or whatever, between 25 and 30, whatever. I know it's in that range because I looked at the clock one time and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm on the phone so long with this person. But sometimes you want to get your the word out to them. You want them to know. And let me tell you something too. And as I was told this from a teammate, that when you call up eBay, right? When you call them up, they will tell you the call is being recorded, right, for training purposes. I had called up a teammate once before in regards to the no views issue. And I told the teammate, we had a nice conversation, and I was sharing my ideas with this person. And you get feedback back and forth. This is why it lasted quite some time. And when I was talking to the teammate, I was expressing my inner thoughts, my feelings, and my issues with them. They took it. This particular teammate, I have to say, I can't say just one. I would say a total of maybe, at the times I called up, I think I got about 3 or 4 good teammates that were very understanding, and they were very concerned about my issues. All right, and my like I said, why I was upset. They they wanted to hear what it was all about. And to be honest with you, I did make headway with them. Now, when an employee leaves a company, when you're working there, I love my job, love this. It's the greatest thing in the world. And when something happens, you be reprimanded on the job or whatever it may be, and the time comes you leave your job, whatever, depending how you leave it. My company, my situation, it was layoffs, and one company went bankrupt. People are always going to have a negative, remark about it. I too, and I'm being upfront and honest, I too had an experience like that where I was very loyal and dedicated to my company. Never complained about the people there. I liked all the people I worked with. I looked at them as family, and I had a lot of respect for them, and they had for me. And yes, you will get an employee that may not be to your liking, or they may not like you, or you may have a disagreement with them. Whatever the case may be, we do have them. You could be the most holiest person on this planet, and somebody will find faults with you. And it could be for any reason. Your race, your religion, the way you dress, the way you talk. It could be a number of reasons. I remember one time hanging out with an associate at a job, and there was this person there that I worked with, and I said, that guy's a nice guy, whatever. And fellow co-worker turned to me and said, I don't like him. I said, why? Why don't you like the person? He said, I just don't like him. How could you like someone for no reason? I don't know. I don't know. He doesn't do nothing for me. I don't like him. I said, okay, whatever. I'm not going to take sides. I'm not going to turn against my coworker who's saying that about another person. I am neutral. I will be friends with the person who they don't like, and I'll be friends with the person who I associate with. I'm not going to turn against somebody because somebody doesn't like somebody else. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work that way. But apparently that person that worked there at eBay, whatever, now a former employee, you know, there probably is validity in it. There is probably a situation where upper management will tell you, you know, maybe because they get a whole glut of calls, and they're probably told, listen, you know, yes, we do monitor the phone calls, we do track everything, we listen to, we overhear what the conversation's all about, and you know, let's keep it down to a bare minimum, all right? But anyway, staying on the same topic, I've talked to the teammate, expressed my concerns and issues, like I said, and I gave some good ideas. And she told me, I think it was a she this time, that I'm going to let my managers hear what you have to say. We're always looking to improve our system, and we always like to, you know, if there's something that we think that may help, you know, in regards to making a smooth transition or whatever it may be, we like to, you know, share that information with our management and whatever. So I said, well, that's good. I also stated in there, because I am a straight up guy, I'm a straight shooter here, I don't take sides and I don't sugarcoat anything. And I also mentioned to her not to win brownie points with eBay, because you don't win brownie points with any company, basically. I just said to you know, the teammate, I said, you know, I understand you guys are the foot soldiers of your company. You get the dirty end of the stick. I mean, when you people call up, if they're irate, they're upset and stuff like that, you're the ones going to hear it, not executive management. Okay? They will listen to, if somebody calls up and yelling and screaming and cursing at you, they're not the ones going through that. They'll listen to the recording and later on say, oh my God, I can't believe that person, he or she yelled and cursed at you, whatever. Okay? They get the brunt end of it. And even, you know, and what I'm about to tell you, I mentioned to the teammate, and the teammate said to me, well, we want to thank you for being an advocate for eBay. And the reason why that came into place, folks, is because I explained to the lady that I don't think it's right, and I'm not speaking about y'all here, but I'm just saying in general, I don't think it's right that people will call up the eBay customer reps and start yelling and screaming at them. Because yelling and screaming is not going to do anything for you. It's not. You may have a scenario where you're yelling and screaming at somebody and you might accidentally get disconnected. You know what I'm saying? And then you're going to call up because you yell and scream, and then you're going to call up that person and yell and scream at them because the first teammate you spoke to hung up on you. There's an old saying, you can catch more bees with honey, right, than vinegar, right? I say when it comes to talking to eBay with issues, I could have called up and said easily, you know, I could have started getting a. I'm not a person who curses anyway. I'm not. If you watch my channel, I have this thing where it's a clean content channel. I don't talk about religion, politics, or use profanity, okay, or any crazy talk on this channel. So you know me telling you this here, I am sure it's not going to call up a teammate and start yelling and cursing at them. It's not going to happen. But anyway, so, you know, and I told her, I said, look, I don't think it's right that people do that. And I put this message out for people in the YouTube community. I think I even put it in my Facebook group, the eBay Top Rated Sellers group. You know, when it comes to contacting teammates, don't get on their case. You know, they're the foot soldiers. They get the brunt of all this nonsense. And, you know, I feel bad for them because they get these calls and they're probably, you know, have a format that they follow when certain things come in, and they're probably told or prompted to say certain things, just like Down Detector. You know, they tell you to lie, tell them what they want, get rid of them and lie to them, whatever, basically the customer. I don't know if you're going to say, well, what do you got to say about that? I don't think it's right. And I would if I had a situation like that, I knew that if I knew something like that with the person, I would say something. Say, this is not right. This is not how to conduct business. You're going about it all wrong. But I will say this, and if people could share this with me, have you noticed your sales been dead? I'll tell you the truth. I guess I could blame it on two things. I could probably blame it on, and again, the blame game. I did a video about that called the blame. I think it was the blame game. And I don't like using a blame game scenario here, but it could be because the weather, with what's going on with the storm, might have hampered sales. I was reading something on the e-commerce bites. I didn't get a chance to put it up there. I should have put up something with China. Or is China? I don't know if it was a merger with them or with the tariffs or something like that, or something along that line. Can it be causing slow sales with eBay? Something along that line. And you want to know something? eBay is flooded with Chinese goods. I mean, it's flooded. You ever go to eBay's page, homepage, and type in, if you get there, look it up in there. It's a little thing there, like a little bar, and it'll say items under $10 or something like that. Check those items out. You know what I'm doing, folks? I am going forward. I am not going to thrift stores like I used to. If I do go in there, it'd be on occasion now. I used to go a lot. I don't want to buy stuff in thrift stores anymore right now at this time, for the simple reason is it's stuff that you could buy. It's everyday stuff. I would like to, and I have a dealer by me, I'd like to buy items that there's not that much of abundance. This is the problem. This is how I see it. When you buy in thrift stores, chances I said, are if you buy in merchandise from a thrift store, be it a Cabbage Patch doll or electronic little gizmo thing, most likely you're going to find out you're going to find those in other thrift stores. I've seen it happen in some cases. Some, not a lot, some. So if you're in a Savers, like I have one in New York, if I'm in a Savers in New York, and there's a Savers in California, and they're selling a Cabbage Patch doll, the same one I'm buying over here in New York, it's like a common thing. You might say, well, not everything can be common, but it is. I looked at the stuff I purchased throughout almost a year and a half, 2 years doing this here. It's the same exact stuff. It's stuff you could get every day. It's like going to Walmart. Let's say you're going to buy, I don't know, a microwave, okay, an Emerson microwave. And you go there, and they're sold out. It's something that you're always going to get. They're going to replenish it again because it was a sellout, right? And any Walmart you go is going to have that same brand. That's what it's like with eBay. Everybody's selling the same exact things. I went from 326 items. I took off 226. I am down right now, I think, to 57. And you know what? I'm letting them bump off. I'm letting them drop off. You might say, well, what are you going to do when you have no more items? I may relist the items again, tweak them up a little, change the wording around, maybe redo my description, maybe, photo montage the pictures or something. I don't know. But I'm letting them bump off, and I'm not doing any more good to cancel. Out of the things I have on there right now on eBay, I have a lot of watches, but no takers. It was like eBay shut. It was like a grid, like a power grid. I remember back in the day when we lost power in 2012, whatever it was. We had that hurricane, whatever, Sandy, whatever. We had no power for 15 days. And if you know what it's like to sleep in the cold weather with no heat, you had running water, of course, but you had no heat. You woke up, you went to sleep with no heat. You woke up with no heat. It's horrible. And the point I'm getting across, you're probably saying, well, all right, what's the story? What's the moral, the end of the story here? It was on a grid. It went like from block to block, but what happened was a power line had broke down, a tree hit a power line about maybe 3 or 4 blocks over, but it knocked out this whole side of our block. One street after another on this side, okay? On it, well, you don't want to talk, I'm just saying, but it was a grid. One tree hit it, knocked it out. That's what it's like with eBay. I have no inquiries, no best offers. It seems like everything is stagnant. It's like eBay has a big power switch and they shut it off. Okay? Now, I don't know how you guys are doing out there. If you're making sales, then maybe something's going on, either with my listings or maybe there is something going on in the New York or Long Island area I don't know about. But all I know is it is Deadsville. I mean, Deadsville. So far, for September and part of August, part of August, I have no sales. This is the 3rd week in September. Not one sale. If you look at my items, nothing there. I have nothing. Everything's under $100, maybe under $50, $20, whatever it is. I don't have expensive items. $7.99, $9.99, with best offers, and I'm not getting any. That's the thing that really cracks me up with eBay. So when that person at Down Detector said they're going to check them out for practices, whatever, if they think they're doing something shady there, hey, maybe something's going on in eBay we all don't know about. I don't know. Okay? But all I could say is this. This is what I'm going to leave you with this. With everything going on, and like I said again, I don't talk about religion or politics. But I will say this. I think with the midterm elections coming up in November, and the storm, and the online sales tax issue, and that thing going on with China, it may be putting buyers on a freeze, on a buying freeze. Could be. I've been following other blog sites and other people talking about it. No sales, dead sales. What happened with eBay? Did they close their doors? Who knows? I don't know. But all I could say is this. With those things looming in the air, it kind of like, first off, think about this. If things are going to, promiscuate the way they go right now, keep going on the way they are. Me personally, I am not buying. The reason I'm not sourcing anymore is because if there's no money coming in, why am I going to source? Why am I tying up money if there's no buyers? I don't care what it is out there. If no buyers are buying, why am I tying my money up? Think about it. Right now, it's slow. I mean, Deadsville. Could you picture me sitting here saying, you know what? After I do the reseller news, folks, I'm going to my local thrift store and I'm going to be buying some more stuff. And do what with it? No one's buying anything. So tying up my money. I got bills at the end of the month. And let alone the eBay listing fee bill. That's coming up. And they're going to want their money. See, that's one thing about eBay. eBay gets their money no matter what. Okay? They get their money no matter what. So, if you don't make sales, sorry, Charlie, you're out. You're out of luck. One person I was watching, I think, did the reseller news the other day, weekends. And the person said, I think it was on Down Detector. Might have been Down Detector. The guy says, at least I believe it was a guy. He said, I'm not going to have the money to pay the bills this month. Another one on the eBay community was talking about something like that along that line, and they said the same thing. Sales have been so dead they don't know if they're gonna make money to make the bills this month. I mean, folks, when you hear stories like that, that's sad. And you know what? That pertains to me too. I always say in my videos, if you got more money going out than coming in, that's not a good sign. And the other thing I always tell people, is if you can't at least make 100 a day, that's a small amount. If you can't make at least 100 a day, how could you consider it a business? It doesn't even become a business, it becomes a hobby. That's hobby income or petty cash money. All right. Now I know competition's fierce out there. Like I said, the last time I did a look on the how many active sellers there were on eBay, you can look it up for yourself. You don't take my word for it. I've seen two things there, off by a million. One said 25 million active sellers, and one said 26 million active sellers. Whatever. It's a lot of sellers. It's a lot of sellers on eBay. And if everybody's selling the same stuff, like, I'll give you this just to sum this up here this way. I was watching the other day. I'm not mentioning names. An eBay seller did a YouTube channel, and that person was giving advice on what you should do to try to make sales. And it's always the same routine. I could tell you what the person said. Use promoted listings, offer free shipping, offer best offer, lower your prices, reword your heading, the title. It's the same format over and over again. It becomes like a broken record. A record that has a skip in it. It keeps playing the same song over and over again. It's the same thing. And I know people may say, well, if you don't like it, then why don't you look, I said this too in my other videos. I am more of an optimist than a pessimist. Okay, I am an older person. I'm probably a lot older than most people are probably watching this thing here. I'm not saying I'm 100 years old, but I'm probably a lot older than most people that are on this platform selling, in some cases. And you know what? I still have a dream. I still have a goal, a dream, and that is to have my own business someday. I don't want to give up. I'm not a quitter. And if it sounds like I'm more of a pessimist than an optimist, people are wrong, because I am more of an optimist than a pessimist. I do voice my opinions when it comes to things of this nature, because I feel that it's the right thing to do. I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't have a dream to sell you. I don't have a quick get-rich-scheme book, or a book on. I haven't written any books on how to make money on eBay, because it's the same format. It is. I gave free advice once before in one of my videos on, how to sell on eBay. I don't have to write a book. It's all basic. It's all just basic common sense. You don't need it. It's not rocket scientists. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this stuff out. Okay. We're not dealing with astrophysics here, fission, fusion, all other stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's very basic. But at the same time, I have to look at the reality of life. If you can't make enough money off of something that you quote unquote want to do, then you got to make other arrangements. Okay? And if it means putting this on the side, pushing it to the side for a while, and go out and go back to a 9-to-5 job, if that's what you need to do to pay your bills, put food on the table, pay your bills and live comfortable, whatever, then that's what you need to do. You can't sit around here and hope and pray every day. I do. I always say, well, maybe tomorrow will be another day. Maybe tomorrow will be a better day. Maybe tomorrow I'll make some sales. If you're used to getting a paycheck every week, and this is the other thing that cracks me up, when I hear people saying, I'm quitting my job and doing this full time. How could you quit a job that you got? I had a job that had pension, 401k, benefits, health benefits, dental benefits, you name it, paid holidays, sick days, all that stuff. And the only reason why I'm doing this is because I got laid off, but I figured, let me give it a shot. This is the third time for me. 2 layoffs and 1 company bankruptcy. I said, strike 3, you're out. Let me try to do something for myself this time. And there was time where it was picking up, like it was moving. It was a little momentum going there. Looking at the account go up and down, more down than up at times. But now it's getting to the point where I'm starting to tap into my savings. That's a problem. And if eBay does put me on a watch list, or somebody tells eBay, oh, watch this guy in the Reseller News, he talks about your company, that'd be fine. I don't really care. I'm not saying anything to bash them. This is not a bash eBay segment, but it makes you wonder, how much time and energy do you put into something? Where's your ROI? Your return on your investment. This is why I'm not buying any more at thrift stores, because when you go to thrift stores and you pick an item, you say, look at this item. And then you look at eBay, people always carry their phones with them, right? You look at eBay and say, oh my God, there's 3,000 people selling the same thing. Thrift stores they sell everyday items. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can go to a thrift store most likely and pick up basically the same things all the time, but at different times. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's a scarcity. Now, some people may basically say, yeah, well, I don't know what thrift store you deal with, but the thrift store I go to always has different. Yeah, they have different things, but go look on eBay, okay, to prove the point to yourself, and not to me, but to yourself, and see how many of those things that you're holding in your hand are being on there listed. You might be lucky and say, there's only 2 people selling the same item. I have a good chance of making a sale. You probably do with 2 people. If they're selling the same item and yours is better condition, whatever, you do have it better. Now, increase the odds. Make it 1,000. Make it 2,000 an item. Tell me now what your odds are going to be. You think you're going to, and then look at the prices they're charging. I was looking at an item. I was looking up the items that have bumped off and trying to relist them and stuff like that, and also repricing. And I said to myself, I do my own research. I say, look what this person's selling for. I go, how can I compare with these people? How can I compete with them? They're offering free shipping. The price is a lot cheaper than mine. And me, when I buy a thrift store, I'm paying full price. And let me tell you something, folks, about thrift stores. Okay? I heard this right from the horse's mouth. Thrift stores, Salvation Army, Goodwill, yard sales. You know what they're doing, those people? You know why the prices in some cases you can't get cheap? Because they're looking them up on eBay. And here's the other thing. I had this discussion with a family member. The local thrift stores I deal with here. They run sales, 50% off on certain days, 25% off, whatever. Here's what they do. They're not stupid. They're pretty smart. They have people, not everything is being looked up though. There are things that slip by and you might make a killing on it. But here's what I say. Let's say I'm selling, I don't know. Let's say we'll use the Cabbage Patch doll again, for argument's sake. They got the doll for nothing, the thrift store, right? Now, they want to sell that item. They want their target prices. They want $10 for it. Okay, that's their mindset. Okay, we know we're going to get. We want $10 for this doll. Okay, so what they do, I'm using that as an example. Okay, take it for what it's worth. So what happens is, they know what they want that target price is. They inflate the price to $20. They run a 50% off sale, and you go there, you say, hey, I can get this Cabbage Patch doll for $10. But that's what they wanted originally. That's what the money they were looking for originally. And then, after you say, okay, I'm going to get it for $10, you look it up on eBay. I had my family member do this, and it said, Rich, that's all it's worth, $10. That's what they sell for on eBay. They came out ahead of the game. A story I heard, and I want to just cut it with this one here to make this the last story. Because I could talk all day about certain things like this here, especially if it, if it makes me a little agitated. I'm sorry, but it does at times. But I was watching a reseller, another online reseller on YouTube. People say when you go to yard sales, garage sales, you get good deals. In some cases, you do. You do get them. And I'm not saying, and what I'm about to say, I'm not saying every single person does this here. Please, so don't sit there and say, oh, come on, man, don't go. I don't want to hear any comments of people sitting there saying, you're telling the whole world out there that this is what's going on. I'm just explaining what somebody I seen on YouTube said. Not me. It didn't happen to me. It happened with another person, another online seller, but had a YouTube channel and was talking about sourcing. And they just happened to be sourcing at a yard sale. So this has nothing to do with me. I'm just relaying the message out there again. Long story short, the person's telling people, oh, when I go sourcing and I go here and I go here, I go to this place, that place, and then I go to yard sales. They show you the person's driving up to the yard sale. Let's see what they got. Person goes up to the yard sale, goes up there, talks to the lady, sees an item. I don't know what it was again, if it was a camera, electronic gizmo, whatever. I don't remember that part. Goes to the person, the lady. How much you asking for this here? Lady says, you could experiment it. I'll be right back. Takes the item, runs in the house. Well, not runs, but goes in the house. Looks it up on eBay. Like maybe the guy's waiting there a minute or two later, whatever, she comes out. This is what it's selling for on eBay. You know what the guy did? He said, oh, thank you. He walked away. She lost the sale. So now the people in yard sales, they're getting hep to this stuff now. So for me, my take is this. I don't go to yard sales. People may say, you're crazy. You can get good deals. I'm sure you could. But hearing stories like that, it's probably one of many. There's probably other stories. If you do research, you'll probably hear that from other people. If I'm going to go to a yard sale, unless it's something vintage and something that's really odd, out of the ordinary, and you can't get that in a thrift store or whatever, your Goodwill or Salvation Army, then it's a chance. Then it's a chance. I say, well, I'll take a chance of buying it. Okay, but if I'm going to pay that person that much money for that particular item that's selling for me, I can go to the thrift store. And people say, yeah, but the thrift store might not have that item that that person's selling. Oh, what? What can I tell you? That's life. I mean, people are getting hep to this stuff. People in my area, or on the blog sites, they're complaining about how Goodwill is charging so much money. Do the research yourself. Go to Google. Type in there. Is Goodwill does Goodwill overcharge on their merchandise? See what people are saying. It's not me. I'm just sharing this information with people, folks. Check it out for yourself. But anyway, I just want to say this in closing. Thank you again to all the new sellers. New sellers. There are all going to be more new sellers out there, believe it or not. To all the new subscribers that subscribe recently to my channel, thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to, share information that's going to be helpful to you guys. If it comes out wrong or, it's not like you think, rather than unsubscribe from me, just say, Rich, you could have talked a little more about this, or maybe you could expand a little on that topic. It seems like we're going all over the place. I'm sorry. I really do apologize. But the purpose of the Reseller News, folks, is to get the information out there to you. As an online seller, it's to give you some little information on, insight as to what's going on. I love the Reseller News. I love interacting with people. I'm sure all you subscribers out there, if I was to meet you all in person, I'd be your best friend, believe me. And I would do whatever I could to help each and every one of you guys out, men and women, whoever's subscribing, whoever. Okay? I'm a genuine person. I tell it like it is. I don't sugarcoat things. And I hope and pray that doesn't sway you away from, not, signing up on my, subscribing to my channel. I hope that doesn't really, make you have a different opinion on me. But I like to tell it like it is, folks. I don't like sugarcoating anything. I never did. You know, if there's something you know that's not right, I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to share that information with you. Okay, so please subscribe to my channel. If you like the content I put out, give them a thumbs up. And if you want to be updated on new things that come out, I really would encourage you to, because you never know what's going to come. I come out with some good information sometimes, folks. Check, if you don't believe me, look at some of my videos. I'm not saying watch all of them, but check them out and see what I got out there. And if you don't like them, then I guess you don't like them, all right? But all I ask is give me a chance before you, if you are subscribed, before you unsubscribe, just give me a chance. You know, I am putting out new content. I want to keep this YouTube channel going. And the only way I can keep it going is by, I don't have any, no one's, you know, I'm not, it's not a monetized channel, so I'm not making any money off it. Not that I'm asking for anything. The best way to support this channel is by you subscribing. That's the best way to do it. And the more subscribers I get, the more of incentive it makes me. You know, it makes me feel so good when people subscribe to my channel. I see it going up little by little. You know how good that makes me feel? You know why I feel good about it, folks? Because I feel that there are people out there connecting with me. They could see what type of person I am, my character. You know, they know my persona. They say, you know, this guy seems like a nice person. And in real life, folks, I am a down-to-earth person. I really am nice, really. And I just hope I could, you know, make more friends out there by you know, people subscribing to me. You know, but if there's anything I can do, if there is any information you need, and I don't have it just yet, or you know, I can't help you out with it, I will do my research to get that information to you folks. That's all I could do. I mean, I'm not a know-it-all, and I'm not going to just throw stuff out there just to make it sound good. If I don't know something, I'm going to tell you, you know. But if you do send a comment, or you have a question, or you need help with something, if I can't help you with it, folks, I will do my best. And I mean this. I will do my best to get that information out there to you, try to help you out the best way I can, you know. So give me a shot. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you like it, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell there, so you'll be updated every time I put new content out. Thanks again for all your time. I'm sorry if this video is so long. I really do appreciate you sticking it out, hearing me out. You know, I really do appreciate it. Have a great day. I will talk to you. Take care. Until the next time. Rich Pasini signing off for Reseller News. Today is September 17, 2018. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye now.